YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back, and I got running back rankings for this upcoming season, basically predicting the upcoming season. So we're ranking every starting running back on each team, starting from 32, going to 1. We had quarterbacks already, and we're going to go through all the positions. Why not? Let's just go through all of them. So if you haven't seen the quarterbacks one, go check it out. Right before we get started with these rankings, 40K is our subscriber goal by the end of this year. Daily sports videos here and full NFL coverage in season. Can't wait to do our pick'ems, score predictions, recaps, power rankings. A lot of fun. So clicking that like button, we much appreciate as well. And then checking out our Twitter, link in the description, and you can see the handle on the top right of your screen. Let's start at the bottom here. It's tough because there's a lot of good running backs here. You know, really all 32 are good or more than good, but I mean, obviously somebody's got to be at the bottom. And it's tricky, too, because some teams kind of have that running back slash flex player, that weapon, that you can't really include this if you're doing 32 starting running backs. So we're going to go through them here in depth. 32, I got Ronald Jones. I'm kind of predicting him to start for Tampa Bay. I liked him out of USC last year's draft, and I liked the pick by Tampa Bay. But he couldn't figure out the playbook, and they completely switch, coaching staffs. The offense can be different. So I think he's the best back on their team. That's kind of me predicting. It's a little risky putting him on here because he actually may not start. Maybe he can't figure out this playbook either. I think he's talented, though, as long as he does figure out the playbook. But because the risk and he might be splitting with some other guys, I'm going to put him down at 32. 31, I got a rookie, David Montgomery. And this is where I was talking about, there's technically a guy like Tariq Cohen's a running back, but he gets 5 or 6 carries a game based off last year, and they're trying to get guys like Montgomery. They drafted Kareth White as well, and they got Mike Davis because those are the true running backs. So Tariq Cohen was not included in this because he's not really the true running back. Heck of a ball player, but so maybe we can do another video that does includes players like that. But David Montgomery down at 31 still has to prove stuff to us. I think he's a good, strong runner, can break tackles, doesn't have elite athleticism. But he's really good running between the tackles, and he actually is pretty darn good bouncing outside for a guy that's more of a strength back. And I think, people look at his testing numbers a little too much. I think he's more athletic on the field. He moves a little better on the field, which obviously is a positive. So he could have a breakout rookie year. Put him at 31 for now because there's some really good running backs here. Kenyon Drake of the Dolphins, not a super flashy back, has actually slowly gotten better. He's actually gained size since he came to the league too, so pretty impressive what he was able to do, all that. Just not super flashy, and that Dolphins offensive line could be a disaster this year, so he's down here. 29 is Tevin Coleman, who I like. Tevin Coleman, liked his game, still like his game, and he could be better than 29. There's probably he's probably better than some of the running backs ahead of him, but there's gonna be all kinds of splitting going on with the Niners. I'm predicting Coleman to be the starter. I know they like Jerick McKinnon a lot. They were really pumped about him last year. He really fits Shanahan's offense, which Coleman does because he played in Shanahan's offense. But McKinnon is an every down back, and it's not, it's mainly because can he run in between the tackles? And you look at him, he's kind of smaller, even though he's built in it. But it's not because he's smaller. He actually can break tackles. He just struggles to hit the hole inside the tackle sometimes. But he is crazy good, outside the tackles and catching the ball out of the backfield. So, and then you got Breida. So, I mean, you got a long list of guys here. So, there's going to be a lot of splitting going on. So, not a whole bunch of production for Tevin Coleman, and that's why he's down here. But I am predicting him to be kind of that starting back. It's kind of a toss-up, though. We're going to take a look at the next 4 here. At 28, I got Mark Ingram. He's been good. His career's been great, but the last couple years he's been good. He's had his moments. I kind of just thought the Saints, I should say, should have went KAMARA a little more over Ingram. I think they're kind of forcing Ingram at times, but he's still good, so kind of understand it. But I think he's slowly declining. Will be a good back. Like I said, all these guys are good, but just not as flashy as some of these other guys. Lamar Miller, 27, another one that he had his moments still, but kind of declining. And then Foreman's 100% healthy now, expected to be. So I think they may push him a little more. And then you got the Eagles. Jordan Howard, I like. Almost like he declined over the last year or two. Maybe it's because the Bears kind of switching things. But I do like his game as, kind of a bigger back guy in between the tackles. But with the Eagles, I mean, he can be pretty good there, but it's almost a similar style. It's almost a similar system. I guess it's just, are you going to use him or not? And they have plenty of running backs too that are pretty solid. Even saw a guy like Josh Adams stepping up last year. So they have plenty of running backs that can step up here and play. So it's a lot of splitting, but I do still think he's good. I mean, just a few years ago, he was top 5 in rushing, I think, for consecutive years. So he's a tough one to rank. So, maybe he is better than that number. He is better than that number 26 next to his name. But, how much is he going to be used? Is he going to fit? That's the question. Nick Chubb at 25. He had a darn good year last year. I just don't see any improving, really, especially with Kareem Hunt. They bring in Kareem Hunt for a reason because he's better. He's really good. So once he's back, I think there'll be some splitting going on. And Chubb, I'm kind of sticking to my pre-draft evaluation, which I got ripped for. I said he's a good running back for sure, and he's going to be good right away. I just don't know if there's a huge ceiling. So he was good right away. We'll see if there's any improving. Definitely a good running back. Was impressive last year. Could be better than this. I just see Kareem Hunt coming back and being, maybe an elite running back, which we didn't rank him here because he's going to miss quite a few games here. So I got Chubb down at 25, and just keep in mind, I know you see 25, 26, next to these guys' names, and it looks bad, but there's some really good running backs, and it's another reason why teams wait to draft guys because wait to draft running backs because they have running backs, So we're going to go on to 24 down to 21 here. 24, I got LeSean McCoy, who's definitely still a good back if he's healthy. Just maybe not the same, and can he stay healthy? So he's down at 24. Adrian Peterson, very impressive season. It's a guy that you just can't doubt. But at the same time, you're always kind of wondering if he's going to get hurt again. But the main thing why he's at 23 is because they're going to split. I was going to put, if I made this video a week ago, I probably would have put Geis in here. I thought Geis would be their lead back, but he's already got a pretty bad hamstring injury, which it's not super serious, but he's supposed to miss some of training camp already. Not a good sign. And they drafted Bryce Love, and they have P. Ryan, and Chris Thompson's more of a catch the ball out of the backfield guy, but he can play. So there's so many good backs there that is he going to get that much production? But I think he'll be the starting back, and you can't doubt this guy, but he's still down at 23. Josh Jacobs, I think, will have an excellent rookie year. It's hard to put him over a rookie over some of these veterans that are proven, but I think he'll have a very solid year. So 22 is a pretty good ranking for him. And he finally signed his contract. Happy to see that. 21 is Devonta Freeman, another one that's tricky because at one point you could actually consider him elite. Maybe that's a little much, maybe close. Loved his game. And he doesn't have Tevin Coleman to split with, but Ito Smith's pretty solid. But just can he stay healthy? This is kind of the spot where it's like, I mean, he's better than, I have him ahead of some pretty good backs, but I have him below quite a few backs, and it's because, can he stay healthy? A little bit of an offense switch there. He's a very tricky one because he's really good outside the tackles if he's healthy. I like his game. It's a tough one. Tough to rank these running backs. I thought the quarterbacks were a lot easier to rank, to be honest. All right, rankings 20 to 17. We got KERRYON Johnson at 20, who I love. I love his game, and he's going to make his way up as the season goes on. And through next year, at this time next year, he'll be up there. But there's also a lot of backs that I say that about, so it's hard to compete. But I like his game. He's going to continue to get better, like I said. Something I noticed that impressed me last year, he showed more speed than everyone expected, pretty much, that he had at Auburn. I mean, he gained more speed is what I'm trying to say, which is impressive. The injury's a little scary, kind of sticks with you, but, I mean, he can run in between the tackles. He has the size, the strength, and now he can run outside, and he's got natural hands, too, out there, too. So 20 doesn't say how much I like KERRYON Johnson's future. And then Aaron Jones, 19. Those guys I was kind of back and forth on, 19, 20, because Aaron Jones is real good, too. Really helped that Packers team when he was back and actually getting the ball. Another guy that, you expect to be good outside the tackles, but surprisingly is good inside, to running inside as well. So just got to stay healthy, and then he can be better in this. And then 18 is Chris Carson. Again, this is kind of predicting for this year because Chris Carson was much better in 18 last year. Loved his game. One of my sleepers from that draft class. So, I like Chris Carson. I just think they're gonna really, I'm not going to say split like 50-50, but we're going to push Penny, I think, which I think Penny will be pretty good. He's got some upside to him. So I think they'll use Penny more, try to switch things up a little bit. It's kind of a prediction. So that's why Chris Carson's down here 18, but 18 is a good ranking. Damian Williams, 17. Maybe a little surprising I have him over some of these big names, but he's legit. And some people just don't think of Damian Williams just because his name's Damian Williams. And maybe it is a system thing for the Chiefs, but he's legit. Another one of those guys that, he catches the ball out of the backfield so good, and he is so fast, so quick that you don't expect him to be breaking tackles and running in between the tackles and guards there, but he does that, better than you think. So, and he's got the full load this year. I expect pretty big things from Damian Williams. I really like him in that Chiefs offense, so he's up at 17. Next group of guys here, James Conner at 16 was excellent up until the injury. When he came back, wasn't really the same, but we kind of want to see more. Another good strength back and break tackles. I think he's a solid back. I got him at 16. It's tough to split some of these guys up here. Phillip Lindsay was excellent last year, probably better than 15. Let's see if he can do it again, especially getting hurt at the end of the year is a little, it kind of sucks. So how's that going to affect him? But I think he's a good back, very quick, and can find that hole instantly. Marlon Mack at 14, another one of my draft hits, so I'm a fan of Marlon Mack, and I don't know if he gets enough appreciation from what he did last year, and he can continue to get better. 14 doesn't say how good he is, too, but there is some really good backs ahead of him, but I expected him to keep getting better there for the Colts. And then Dalvin Cook at 13. I mean, we know what he's capable of if he's healthy. He's got to stay healthy. Which I think he can. I think 2 years ago was a serious injury, but last year I think it was more of, he's probably fine. We're holding him out because this offensive line's a disaster. So they improve the offensive line, we think, and they get Kubiak, who's supposed to be that run game genius. So they're going to give Cook the ball. He's going to get his chances, and we know he can catch the ball downfield pretty well. So I got him at 13 as long as he stays healthy. I mean, if he stays 100% healthy, I think he's better than 13. Next, 12 is David Johnson, another tricky one because at one point people wanted to say elite, even though it was really just one really good year and maybe a half a year before that. I think it was a wrist injury that made him struggle a little bit. To me, his moments last year weren't good. It could step up with the new offense this year. I just want to see more, but I know what he's capable of, and that's why he's up at 12. At 11, I got Sony Michel, who I like a lot. More than that, I love his game. A guy that can do it all, runs people over, and he actually can get outside, and for his size has a pretty good amount of quickness and speed. So I think he'll continue to get better. He was super impressive in the playoffs to me, so he was showing that he gets better. I know they have a room full of running backs, but this is the guy. This is the guy for the Patriots. 10 is Leonard Fournette, and it's a risky one because is he going to be on the field every game? I think he's better than 10 if he's on the field every game, 100% healthy, 100% into it. I think he's a heck of a back, but we'll put him at 10 for now. I think he's out there majority of the time. Got to be 90% plus. So, and we'll see. The Jags weren't too happy with him, but I think it'll work out here, and I think he's a heck of a back. So I got him in the top 10. Number 9, despite what's going on, I got Melvin Gordon. I guess maybe that could be the deciding factor with a few guys really close to the skill level of him, right in front of him, but that he is kind of holding out right now. So we'll see if that gets resolved. He's a darn good back at number 9. Really has improved his pass catching over the years, which was a huge weakness coming out of Wisconsin. On to 8 through 5. Got some interesting takes here. We got 8 is Todd Gurley, so there's one there. I think if 100% healthy, if given the load, I think Todd Gurley is the best running back in football. I've said it before. I'm saying it again. Why is he at number 8 then? I think they're really, I'm a little worried about his knee too, arthritis in the knee. He didn't really seem to have a problem with sitting out in the big moments there at the end. That scares me. The knee itself scares me going forward. I don't think he's going to last long. But the main thing, since this is a ranking based off this year, I think there's a reason they drafted Darrell Henderson, and I think that means they're going to limit his carries, and they'd rather have him for the playoffs. So maybe he won't even be as good as 8. I think they're really going to limit him. Kind of a bold prediction for me. It doesn't really seem that bold when I talk about it, but I'm really the only one talking about it. So I think Darrell Henderson's a heck of a back too. So maybe they'll use him even more than I think. So I got him at 8. 7, Le'Veon Bell. A lot of people assume he can get back to being the best running back in football. Possible, but I don't know. I don't know about it quite yet. Difference between playing with the Steelers, playing with the Jets, and then you take a year off football, coming back here And we'll see what he can do. I mean, number 7, he's going to be a darn good back, but I don't know if he'll be at the very top. I'm not ruling it out, though. Joe Mixon at 6, another guy, if healthy, is a rising star, can run the ball pretty much anywhere, any hole, catches the ball extremely well down the field, too, and out of the backfield. So very impressive. Joe Mixon's on the rise as long as he stays healthy, as long as he stays out of trouble. Number 5 is Derrick Henry, and this is a big risk. And the Titans are going to piss me off big time if they, once again, don't play Derrick Henry in the beginning of the season. You keep seeing Derrick Henry and how good he is, and then the next year, the Titans don't play him for like the first half of the season. I have a feeling, though, that they're going to finally do it this time, you know. And it's a contract year for him, so he's trying to prove something. But, I mean, if this guy would have played from the start of the year, he would have led the NFL in rushing yards, you know, to where he was and the averages he had and what he did for the little amount of carries he had was just absolutely insane. It's just, I think this guy has to be maybe the most feared guy to tackle in the league. And then, you know, the speed he has outside, which we saw last year, is pretty ridiculous too. So if he gets the full load, really, he could be better than number 5. And that's scary. And now we get to see the top 4. Pretty tough splitting these guys up. Number 4, I got ALVIN KAMARA, who actually could get the low. Everyone's saying that. You know, he's going to get the low now. Ingram's gone. But don't forget, Latavius Murray can play. And they like to use KAMARA in the passing game, even like to split him out wide. So they're going to use Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray had a pretty good year with that terrible Vikings offensive line. So they're going to use both, so I couldn't really move him ahead of 4, but I love KAMARA's game. Like I said, he does it all. He splits out wide, goes in the slot, and then he can run the ball anywhere. Another one of my big draft hits. So I love KAMARA's game. I got him at 4. Christian McCaffrey at 3. He's been super impressive. Another one, similar game to KAMARA, you know, different body types, but similar game. And he's putting on some strength too. He's getting freakish, so he'll be able to run in between the tackles a little better, I think. And, I mean, he's going to have to carry this team, too. If Cam's not 100% and the receiver unit's really not there, I expect big things from DJ Moore going forward. You know, he's going to have to do it. So I'm liking McCaffrey for this year. Zeke at 2 probably has been the best running back in football. You know, other than Todd Gurley when healthy, I'd say he has been the best. But Elliott's another do-it-all guy. There's rumors he can hold out. I seen that once, you know, over the last couple of days. I don't know how true that is. He better not because, you know, everyone's kind of giving him, you know, a pass on the recent which it wasn't a serious off the field issue, but he needs to get in there and play. But he's a smart running back. On the field, he's a smart running back and really knows how to find the hole, knows where to take the ball, and he can do it all. And then I already got Saquon at 1. I think he's just that freakish, you know, what he's able to do with a bad team. And even last year, you know, teams just expected them to run the ball and they still couldn't stop him at times. And the way he can catch the ball to the backfield, you know, it's just a freakish dude. I think he'll be number 1 already. For me, I think it was pretty easy putting Barkley at 1. I mean, it's kind of tough because he was just a rookie last year, but didn't have to think too much about it. It's just the McCaffrey-KAMARA battle's legit. I just think McCaffrey's going to get, which the Panthers did bring in a few running backs that I like. I like Scarlett. I think if he's out of trouble off the field, you know, if he stays good, if he stays on the field, you know, he's pretty good. You know, he would have been way higher on my board, but it was the multiple off the field issues. So we'll see with him. But obviously McCaffrey's the guy, and he's going to get the full load and catch the ball at a high level. But kind of going back to my point, which split them up, was I think KAMARA splits a little more with Murray, so that's what puts him down to 4. But I love both those guys' games. So let me know your guys' rankings. Again, there's some good running backs left off this, mainly because they're not like the true starting running back. They're kind of flex guys, play a lot of receiver too. Some teams use, you know, like the Chiefs, they use a guy like that, Damian Williams, as a starter because that's their offense. So maybe we can do a video, probably do receivers next. Haven't really decided yet, actually. We can do a video with those X Factor guys, you know, those weapon type guys. So we'll see. We can do a lot of these. Want to go through all the defense positions too. It's going to be a lot of fun. I enjoy doing these videos. Enjoy seeing the comments, even if they're, you know, disagreeing with me. I like having a good debate, you know. So please hit that like button and please subscribe if you haven't quite yet, because we got daily sports videos, full NFL coverage in season. Weekly picks with other Goat House members. I got score predictions I do every week, recaps after each week. We do power rankings, college football weekly picks, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff here at the Goat House. So please subscribe. That's going to do it for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.